Hello again. Welcome to another lesson in Algebra 1. Today we're covering section 4.0, Finding Linear Patterns. So this is not actually part of chapter 4, but it really does benefit you while you work through chapter 4 on linear equations. Okay? All right, our warm-up. Remember, you're supposed to do this ahead of time. You're not doing yourself any favors by just waiting and copying over the answers. It really does help the concepts to stick in your brain. All right, so solve each equation. So on the left side, we have to simplify it first. So 10x minus 15 equals 12x plus 7. So we simplified the expression on the left. The right side was already simplified. Now I'm going to get all the variables on the same side. So I'll subtract 10x from both sides. I get negative 15 is 2x plus 7. And then I subtract 7 from both sides because I'm solving the two-step equation to get x on the right side by itself. This will give me negative 22 equals 2x. Then you divide 2 to both sides, and I get negative 11. All right. Number 2. This is a proportion, still an equation though, but the easiest way to solve when we have two fractions equal to each other is to cross multiply. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 times 2x minus 1 equals 7 times x minus 4. All right. So I got to simplify both sides of this one. So I'm going to say 8x minus 4 equals 7x minus 28. Get all the x's on the same side. So x minus 4 equals negative 28. And then I will add 4 to both sides because now I'm left with just a one-step equation. So I get x is negative 24. Okay. So remember, with a proportion, the easiest way to solve is to do the cross multiply. Number 3. The left side is not simplified again. So I'll combine the x's. And then we'll subtract 2 to both sides to solve the resulting two-step equation. And this time we get a decimal, so 10.5. And then our last one here, we are going to subtract 0.4 to both sides, just a two-step equation with some decimals in it. So that'll make 6.9. And then I'll divide both sides by 0.25. So 6.9 divided by 2.5, I'm doing the calculator here, or 0.25, gives me 27.6. Okay. All right, so we have just 3 questions today. So down here, we are trying to look at some linear functions that are represented in table form, and then write a function for this. So we did this kind of briefly back in chapter 1 and 2. So let's take a look at it again. All right, let's see. So a trick here, and well, first off, let's talk about what we're trying to get. We're trying to get this to be y equals something times x, and then plus or minus some starting place. Okay. The starting place is easy to find. It's what is the value of y when x is 0. So in this case, the value of y is 3 when x is 0. So this is my starting place, positive 3. So I put a plus there because it's positive 3. If it had been a negative starting place, we would put minus whatever the number was. All right, now the trick is we want to find how much is it changing each time. So let's go down and finish up the table. So on the left side for the x's, it's changing by 1 each time, going up 1. And on the right side, it's changing by 2 each time, it's going up by 2's. Okay, so a trick here is we're looking for the changer, the number that goes with the x, because the x varies over time, that changes it. So we just need to see how much is the x changing it. Okay, and what we do is we pick any 2 points we feel like. So I'll pick 1, 5, and 2, 7. And then we find the change in each side. The change in the y's is going up by 2. And the change in the x's is going up by 1. And what we put in this spot is the division of 2 divided by 1. The change in the y's divided by the change in the x's. So that makes 2. So 2x plus 3. All right. So this is our final equation. Y equals 2x plus 3. And we found it one more time by doing the changing on each one. So in the y's, it went up by 2. And in the x's, it went up by 1. And then we divided that to figure out our changer. And we also found the starting place by looking for the place where x was 0 and saying what was y. So the 3 went there. All right, now you should always check yourself to make sure you did it right. So for instance, if I took any random x in here, let's pick the 5. I plug it in, and I work it out, and I want to know what the y is that would go with that. So 10 plus 3 is 13, and then we compare to make sure we have the correct y. Okay. All right. So in the end, though, I'm looking for what's circled in blue here, and fill in the table's missing places. So our missing places were 13 and 15. All right, number 2. Let's fill in the table first. So it's going up by 1s on the x side, so this would be 5 and 6. It's going down by 3s on the y side, so this would be 5 and 2. Okay, and then our equation is going to be y equals, and now let's find the changer amount first this time. So this is going down by 3, and this side's going up by 1. So our changer is -3 divided by 1, which is -3. That goes with the x. And then we look for our starting place. Our starting place is when x is 0, what is y? So this is going to be plus 20. So there is our answer. Okay, we filled in the table and we've written our equation. Okay, let's pick a point and check it. So let's pick 4. So -3 times 4 plus 20. That's -12 plus 20, which is 8. And that's what we got. So we know we did it right. So there's no reason to miss any of these. You just have to plug it in and make sure you did it and then go back and fix if you got it wrong. Okay. So now in the last one, the x's are going up by 1 each time. So we get 5 and 6. And it looks like the y's are going down by 5. So that would be -10 and -15. And then what number would go down by 5 to get 10? Oh, well, that's 15. Okay, so my equation is y equals, let's find our changer. We'll take these two right here. This is going down by 5 and up by 1. So I do my division, and my changer is -5. That goes with the x. And then our starting place is when x is 0, what is y? And that was 15. Okay, so we should still check ourselves to make sure we did it right. So I'll pick the 6. So that's -5 times 6 plus 15. That would mean that's -30 plus 15, which is -15. So we did it right. Okay, so remember we're trying to write this linear equation that matches the table. Okay, think about what is the changing value, how are we changing it, and what is the starting place. All right, you have a follow-up here. So on the second page, you need to write all 6 of these, and then there's one down on the bottom here to take a look at. I will see you in class next time as we begin chapter 4.